Hey guys, welcome to my page. And I'm getting used to actually doing my FaceTime, or you call it just a brief update for the page. Sometimes the information that comes, I've got my regular team, actually three, well, several person that actually work for me in the different production departments. Sometimes I like to do my own when an idea or some God have spoken to me, or some would say an epiphany. And I would like to talk about the mothers, fathers. It will take me another time to talk about fathers, but to talk about mothers, we understand we have got to respect fathers. It takes a man and a woman to produce, life. But we understand across the globe that women plays a very important role in raising children, and most times one must say that God bless the fathers that have been responsible and accountable and take the job of parenting seriously, but it's the women that most times shoulder the responsibility. I must have to take this opportunity to give God thanks on my mom. That is absolutely amazing. She did just an incredible, remarkable job that I could never ever repay her for, which I am just absolutely and the person that I am today because of her, and I owe her my entire world because she is absolutely amazing and was amazing when I was growing up as a child, with her parenting skills. And I just want to take time to encourage the mothers across the world, in this country, the United Kingdom, Europe, and across the Western society of the world, to be encouraged. You're doing a good job and you're very important, and don't ever give up. Stand on the principles of parenting, because one must realize is that we don't do this for the child, but we do this for God, before God, and also for the child's future into the world. And oftentimes it's not for the present moment. So a lot of parents may believe buying them all the games and all the sweets and everything that is parenting before. That's for the moment. But giving your children life skills information, giving the children ethics and good morals and good family values and love and support, and taking the time to speak to them and in putting into them just important information of love, hope, faith, and light that can never be erased, because these are fundamentally cemented to their chromosomes. And we must say that God has given us the ability to enlighten, to shed light, to illuminate the pathway, especially where children is concerned, giving them hope beyond the present moment, hope in the future, because dark days will come for them. So what we are doing is preparing, because life is a journey. If you get on the train and you travel, every spot is a journey. Like in the airplane when I traveled, and I traveled a lot, and or used to travel a lot, is that when you everywhere you pass, is a different story, because the cloud is saying something. Every altitude is different. Every it speaks differently to you, and it speaks differently to the journey. So traveling on an everyday basis causes one to make a note, causes one to journal, causes one to put in their archives, their spirit or their soul archives, and into the memory bank, to come out in the future, that whatever comes, you will be able to go through, and you should never ever ever give up. So parenting skills takes a lot. So we want to salute all the mothers of love across the globe, especially those from the poorer countries like the third world countries, Jamaica, the rest of the Caribbean, and the continent of Africa, and every other poorer countries across the world. It takes a lot. And I must say that the mothers for these countries that are given support and values and love and hope and trust, and into their young girls to give them values, not to mess with young boys, not to be lies or just having children like a prostitute, but to have a hope and loyalty and trust and love, and just give back a bit to society. When you give to your children, you're giving to the future. And that's how we make a brighter future, by giving back indeed. So I will never put down women. I will always empower and encourage. But we do know that there are some other women that deserve reward and awards for their outstanding job of parenting. My mom is at the top of the list. And the women across the globe that take the time and the effort. And I also want to encourage the women that have got children, and sometimes they get involved in things that is beyond the teachings or the chronicles of your parenting skills and repertoire. I just want to encourage you, don't ever feel discouraged. Or if you are discouraged, wake up from that discouragement. Realize that we all have got our journey. And a true mother would not put down another woman. Would not. So sometimes people believe love is when you crucify other people's children to lift up yours. That's not love. That's evil. That's very much evil. You've got to train your child and your children to have respect, loyalty, love, and also a responsibility and accountability of their own action. That's how one is going to learn and one is going to get better. We must be responsible and take responsibility of our own actions, especially when we are young. So, for all the mothers, sometimes we understand your child may get a misfortune and everybody blame that child. And the truth is hidden. Don't give up. Because I would like to let you know that God sees everything. God sees everything. There are parents that defend their children, lie for their children, and pretend that their children are angels. That they even ascend the throne above God's with their morals, when they're actually far beneath the devil's. But I would want to encourage you today to let you know that what goes around come around. Whatever we sow in this life, we will reap it. Mothers, be encouraged. If your daughter was raped, if she got pregnant out of wedlock, if she got a divorce, if her husband treated her evil, if she was killed, if your son was murdered and they blame it all on him and put a wanted name over his head, if he goes far beyond the way you have brought him up, don't give up. For all the women, mothers, that children dies in the club with drugs overdose,